And don't you guys love it when new video games come out? Because apparently a new Christian video game has been released. This game is called Adventures of the Old Testament. So the trailer just dropped, and we're going to be taking a look at this trailer and breaking down my thoughts. So let's dive in.
Experience a new game, the first of its kind. Watch and play through some of the most epic adventures throughout recorded history. Battle, escape, survive, and fight for freedom in single-player and multiplayer mission mode. Build community.
Yeah, because it's a great way to build communities by running around with a staff and killing everyone in your path.
Connect with others and join arms in battle with millions of others from all over the world in our open-world gameplay mode. Enjoy watching the animation of the Old Testament in its entirety and gameplay that allows you to walk in the footsteps of some of the most prominent individuals throughout the Bible. Adventures of the Old Testament.
Here's the whole thing in this trailer that is just cracking me up. This one shot right here. It says in the top right, time until flood. It's about 19 minutes. I don't think this is very biblical. Apparently, according to this game, Noah had to kill all the people outside of the ark, holding them off until the flood came. That's definitely what the Bible said.
No. It's not true. That's impossible.
I don't know. We get a couple shots. It looks like Noah. There's a shot that is obviously Samson. And then we get a shot here, I'm going to guess, is Balaam, who ran into the angel of the Lord. So anyway, before, a lot of you guys are already formulating your opinions on this project. Before I dive into my thoughts, there's also one other clip I want to show you guys that they've released on their YouTube channel. A cutscene that they developed for the game. Let's take a look at this cutscene.
Samuel the boy had matured into Samuel the man. And with many years of torment from the Philistines, the Israelites looked to Samuel to save them.
Go back to God. Believe in him with everything you have, and he will liberate you from your enemies.
I love, whoever did the voice acting for that, I love the voice. It's like a higher pitched voice, so you're like expecting something deeper for some bearded man, but still, it sounds like a very talented voice actor.
He speaks the truth. We need to forget our false gods and go back to the true one.
We will march to the city of Mizpah and ask for forgiveness as one.
The Israelites assembled in droves to accompany Samuel in his quest. However, the Israelite quest to Mizpah was soon learned by the Philistines.
How many Israelites are marching to the city? If it's as many as you say, that must mean that they're preparing for war. We have to attack them first, demolish them so hard that they won't ever set foot on a battlefield again.
I don't know, there's something about that line. Maybe it's just the quality of the writing. Demolish them so hard that they'll never set foot on a battlefield again.
Back at Mizpah,
show your subjects mercy, O God. Save them. The false gods have been abandoned, and the people have shown remorse.
All of a sudden, a commotion roared up.
Look out! The Philistines are on their way!
Samuel, talk to God and have him spare us. We don't want to die.
The Philistine forces arrived ready for a fight.
Okay. That's kind of a cool shot.
So Samuel prayed to God for assistance and gave him a tribute.
It's about time for these Israelites to learn.
That's a really good looking shot.
However, as the Philistines got close enough to strike, horrible weather
erupted. It's actually looking good right now. Bruh. I'm sorry, I can't with that lightning.
It's impossible to get to the Israelites.
I love how those two guards are just standing there calmly looking around while their army is dying, while they just talk about how bad the situation is. Samuel over here, this dude straight up got a smile on his face while he's seeing these men fall off a cliff dead. Look at that. He looks blissful.
He's looking out for us.
The Israelite victory was an extremely important moment for its people. As long as Samuel was leading them, the Philistines never came back to cause trouble. To commemorate this, Samuel erected a rock altar by the name of Ebenezer, a name that translated to
that's a good
Stone
looking shot
of
right
Help.
there. Okay, so now you guys have seen the trailer, you've seen one of the cutscenes for this project, so I feel like we've seen enough that we can kind of formulate an opinion. This project is actually out on Steam already. You guys can fork out $5 and go ahead and play it. I'll put a link below because I want to do all I can to support the developer. Now first I want to talk about this cutscene and then I'm going to talk about the trailer, so kind of in reverse. The first thing I'm noticing, obviously you guys are going to look at it and say something's off, and most of you are going to know what's off about it. But what I want you to notice is that if I take just about any frame of this trailer, almost every frame looks good and a lot of them look almost photorealistic. Here's a couple for you guys to look at. So it is not graphically that there's really anything off of this trailer. In my opinion, graphically, this trailer looks absolutely stunning. This shot right here, in my opinion, one of the best shots in the trailer. It looks almost photorealistic. So what is off with this trailer is just simply the animation. The animation feels a little bit wooden. It feels a little bit off. And I really get the impression that this is kind of a one-man team kind of project. Maybe not, but it seems like a very small team and they may not be AAA game developers. So I'm not upset about that in the least. All in all, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with how this looks. And in general, looking at this project, I can see that whoever's developing this project has put in an absolute huge amount of work to make this project become a reality. So first of all, I want to applaud whoever worked on this project because it looks like you have just done a phenomenal job. Now, as far as criticisms, here's the biggest thing I'm noticing about this trailer. This is a common mistake. I feel like a lot of studios, even AAA studios make this, whether indies or AAA studios. It's a common mistake. And I get the impression the developer of this project is focusing on the scope of the project, trying to create this massive open world project, and is allowing the gameplay to be cut down at the expense of the scope of the project. Trying to create a game like this is an absolute massive undertaking. You're talking about, from this I'm seeing numerous Old Testament stories that the developer is trying to turn into a playable scenario. Creating all of that requires a huge amount of scope, and I just get the impression from what I'm seeing, the gameplay just looks wooden and unpolished, especially the animations. The animations seem kind of off, and it doesn't necessarily look immensely fun. I'm just going off of what I see inside of this gameplay, but I see these cutscenes that look cool and massive in these huge scenes and scenarios, but every time I see like the battlefield and the fighting, it just feels a little unpolished. Like there's a lot of work being put into creating this massive game, but the most simple and important part of the game I feel like is sacrificed at the expense of the scope of the project. I hope I'm wrong. I have not played this yet, so we'll see. But if I was just off of this giving advice to the developer, I would say slow down your pace a little bit. There is a reason people buy $5 games off of the App Store or off of Steam, these tiny little games who are the simplest things ever, and play them again and again and again. Think games like Among Us. It's the simplest game. There's a reason people play games like that. It is because of the core gameplay. I feel like if I was talking face to face to the developer, I would say, pull back your scope a little bit. Allow yourself to focus on a smaller scope and focus on perfecting that gameplay. They seem to have a very action RPG type of gameplay with something like that. So observe some games within the genre and polish your gameplay as much as you can. And then once your gameplay is polished, work on adding the scope layer by layer. Don't start out huge, start out small. And if your gameplay is good, people will play it regardless of how small it is, and then add everything on layer by layer. So that would be my advice. That is my reaction. I would love to hear what you guys think. And if any of you guys have played this project yet, comment below. Tell me what you think, especially as hopefully soon I'll be grabbing this game on my own also and playing it a little bit. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, why aren't you subscribed already? And with that, you guys have an awesome day. Peace out.